Moving on to the 7th fight, we have a very confident-looking Richie McGonigal coming into the blue corner, led in once again by Mr. Dave Jackson from the Warrington Thaiboxing Club. And in the corner there, we have a very worthy champion of Dave Jackson's, Mr. Ian Ledson, a very seasoned fighter with quite a few belts to his achievements of Thai boxing, fighting in anything from 70 kilos up to 75 kilograms in 2 different weight divisions, and having won numerous fights in the past against some very good fighters. And he's probably well known for one of his recent fights with Mr. Pelly Nathan, from the trainer from Cell Thai Boxing Club, where Pelly Nathan defended his World WKA title. A very close match between Ian Ledson and Pelly Nathan. And this is an international contest, being led into the ring by Master Sken, and the fighter all the way from Turin in Italy, Bruno Rinaldi, who trains in Bolton and in Stockport with Master Sken when he's in this country, and his trainer Sandy Holt from the Bolton Thai Boxing Club in the corner. As he scales the top rope, as all the sitting wrong fighters do. At the scales, both fighters matched an even 64 kilograms. Richie McGonigal, a seasoned Thai boxer, but with an inexperienced fight record. Richie's been training, I believe, for about 5 or 6 years, with only 2 fights to his name, but with 2 fights, 2 wins. He's obviously started later, from coming out of just Thai boxing training into fighting. Bruno, on the other hand, has had 5 fights, having won 3 and lost 2. Having finished his ritual dance, Bruno Rinaldi, and the very stocky and powerful looking Richie McGonigal there in the blue corner and the blue shorts. I was talking earlier on about the gloves and fighting as in Thai boxing rules, how they score. Boxing obviously does score, but elbows, knees and shins and feet are unprotected, so they will score slightly more than boxing, because boxing has the glove on and that is a form of protection. Well, here we've got the classic stare with the famous Bruno smile, not being intimidated by his aggressive looking opponent. Should make an interesting fight. This match is only 3 by 2-minute rounds, but I suppose you could say it's England versus Italy. Round 1. And Richie opening up with good punch, and Bruno just laughing, waving and smiling. The fighters ready to test each other out in the first round. Bruno opting to use the teep or the front kick to keep his fighter at bay. Richie there throwing in some good low point kicks. Into the clinch. Bruno using the turning technique. Attempting the high kick but missing. Flying knee. It's a nice technique to see in the ring from Bruno. Followed by a low point kick. And again the knee and the boxing. Bruno adopting a very in-out, fast type of style of fight, being very successful with the front kick too. And a high point, Richie's just there in front of his face, taking the punishment and just coming straight back. The crowd rising to this fight. Body kicks, front kicks, low point kicks, and again Bruno coming in there with a knee, and again Richie there using his strength and powerful boxing punches against Bruno. Flying punch, Rich is there again with a strong low point kick and attempting a throw. Just manages it just on the bell as the referee brings them apart. So very exciting opening round. On my cards, I would give Bruno that because of his clean-cut kicking technique. His front kick was finding its mark to the midsection of Richie. As I mentioned, kicks do score slightly better than punches. Round 2. Again, Bruno with the same strategy, sort of kicking and moving out of danger. Again, Richie showing his superior strength there, forcing Bruno away. Richie McGonigal in the blue there, opening up with a powerful hand combination, but just missing its target. And Bruno keeping with the same strategy of kicking and moving, kicking and moving. It seems to have worked in the early stages of this fight. Both fighters not making a great amount of impact in the second round. Richie's style there in the blue, sort of closing Bruno's ring down, but Bruno using a lot of useful footwork and movement around the ring, stopping himself from being trapped. Both fighters still seem to be testing each other out in this round. Bruno moving in with a hand combination. Again, Richie attempting the throw. And Bruno nearly going for an after the bell technique there, which is not allowed. So an even round on my scorecard. Nothing much between those two in that second round. Having given Bruno the first round. Also in the corner there, Dave Jackson is just saw going off the screen was Kevin Harper, British champion. And in the corner of Bruno, along with Master Sken and Sandy Holt, is Mr. Darren Phillips, a very seasoned Thai boxing fighter and trainer, running the Haywood Thai Boxing Club. And then we go to the last round. 3 2-minute rounds, C-class. International bout between Bruno Rinaldi in the red, from Italy, Turin, and Richie McGonigal from Dave Jackson's in Warrington. Good low point kick from Richie, replied back there with a high point and low point from Bruno. And again, the jumping knee, which seems to find its mark. Bruno attempting the downward elbow to the shoulders, which are allowed. You can elbow to the body, but not the head. And you can knee to the body and legs. Again, you cannot knee to the head. Those rules are only allowed in Thailand. In Europe, they are not allowed. Bruno adopting a good guard, but his head is held a little bit high and his chin is dangerously high. He seems to be getting away from trouble by hitting and moving, which seems to work for him in this fight. Both fighters exchanging a simultaneous jab. Bruno using some good body kicks, finding the mark. And again, a lot of them taking on the arm though of Richie. And Bruno there's once again just larking about, waving his hand, flying knee again. And Richie once again just using his style, trying to close the ring down on Bruno, trying to nail him into a corner. Well, that was a different fight. Very interesting. I think perhaps the work rate of Bruno took that round. So on my cards, I'll give it 2 rounds to Bruno, 1 even. Very interesting contest there from both fighters. Once again, we'll wait for Mr. David Croft, the MC, to announce the decision. And the judges, A, B and C. Here we go. Well, very interesting scorecards there. 2 judges scored exactly the same as me, 28-30, 28-30, which is 2 rounds to Bruno.